BIOS, which is Basic Input Output System, or UEFI, which is Universal Extensible Firmware Interface, are the things that run all the basic components of your laptop or a desktop. But in today's video, I'll show you how to update your BIOS or UEFI, which will add more stability or performance or both to your current system. As I said, the performance aspect and also security fixes, which are also usually included at the chip level, which is only updated via BIOS updates and not just Windows updates, for example. Now you might think to yourself, it is a bit risky and should I go for it or not? Now yes, it is a firmware level upgrade, but if you make sure that you have enough battery power to finish the update, or you have backup power system if you're on a desktop, and then you follow this video correctly and properly, I have personally never had a BIOS update fail on me, and I've done dozens. So without further ado, let me show you how to update your BIOS or UEFI on your laptop. I have the ASUS FX506HM, so I'm going to show you how to find your model number, your new BIOS, and the current version of the BIOS. Alright, so before we look for downloading the BIOS, we need to find out what system or what model number of the laptop you're running. So you just type in start system information, press enter. Now you need to scroll down, look for the brand, which is ASUS. This is the system model, also says ASUS TUF Gaming FX506HM. If it's not visible here, you can keep scrolling and look at baseboard. Here you will see the name of the model again. So if you have a desktop, all of this might be empty. You might see the baseboard version here and you can just download it from there. So I'm just gonna Google ASUS FX506HM. Let's do that. FX506HM. Click on the first link. Go to support. And click on driver and utility. It might be slightly different depending on the manufacturer, but generally speaking, you should now see drivers or BIOS. Go to BIOS. See FX506HM. The latest BIOS was released on 30th of March, which was basically about 6 days ago. Security update and optimize system performance. You can see the history of all BIOS over the period of time. Now there are two ways to go about this. You can actually do a BIOS update from the BIOS itself, which is a bit advanced and I don't recommend it for most people. But the other option is to update the BIOS from Windows itself. You can see there's the same BIOS version 3.12, 3.12. One of them is designed for Windows. One of them is just the BIOS file, which is smaller. So you have to reboot into BIOS and do all of that. I'm not going to show you that today. We'll just download this one, which can be updated using Windows. But how do I find what version I'm running right now? Or whether should I update or not. In my case, I have the My ASUS app, which comes with the laptop, or you can download it if you have an ASUS laptop. And if you go to last BIOS update was 3.09. So to find out the BIOS version, I'll open the My ASUS app in my case. But if you don't have an application that came with your laptop, you can reboot and press F2 to see the BIOS version there on the main page. But I can see it from here, so I'll just go to System Info. And then if you check system software, firmware, release date, 15th of December 21. The version I'm running is 3.11. This is the board number. This is the BIOS version number. Now we saw earlier that 3.12 is available. So I'm going to hit download. Let it download. I'm just going to open the exe file. Now it will recommend that I close everything else, but I've seen it's okay to continue everything. So you can see Windows BitLocker drive encryption is enabled. BitLocker drive encryption needs to be suspended temporarily during UEFI update to prevent loss of encryption key. It is also highly recommended that you verify that the BitLocker recovery key has been successfully backed up before continuing. Press OK to suspend BitLocker and continue with UEFI update. How to do that? Right click. Manage BitLocker. Back up your recovery key. I can save to my Microsoft account. And recovery key has been saved. So just in case there is a problem, you're not going to lose your data. That's the main thing. Finish that. Now press OK to start the thing. and it will do the BIOS update. It's asking for me to restart the system. I'll do that. So you can see now it shows there is a BIOS update ready. Press yes. Now in some laptops, this process is done in Windows itself, and you won't have to reboot to start the process. But ASUS highly recommends that you do it via this method because it uses BIOS as well as Windows, a combination of the two to get you to the latest version, which is the safest in my opinion. And you can see we're almost 40% through. Almost there now. There you go, update is successful, system will be reset. And we're booting into Windows 11. Alright, so we booted back into Windows. It's the first time we booted. To verify the BIOS version, I'll just go to the My ASUS app. And then I'm gonna go to System Info. And there you can see firmware version, 1st of March 2022, FX506HM312. And that's all done. And that's pretty much it, guys. Now you know how to update your BIOS properly for your laptop. Now functionally you won't see much big of a difference, but under the hood you know it's much better and more stable. Now there is an exception to this rule. On desktops it might add support to newer models of CPUs, but usually on the laptop your CPU is soldered, your GPU is soldered to the board. So you're pretty much getting security patches as well as stability fixes. Anyway guys, smash that like button if this video helped you. Consider subscribing and dinging that notification bell if you want to watch more content on how to make your system better and keep it up to date. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.